I'm not too sure if Southern Comfort is even a whiskey.
Well, it's not. It's a whiskey liqueur.
What does that even mean?
It means it's like it's I don't fucking know, man. But isn't it the same as Jack Daniel's not also Jack Daniel's.
Is
That's
it
not
is it
also a
a, is it
whiskey
a
liqueur.
bourbon?
Or maybe is Jack Daniel's real whiskey? Or maybe it is. Shit, I don't know. What up, chat? That was the quickest intro ever.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I need to
Well,
pull up the chat.
we were having a discussion about we were talking about whiskies and we needed to get back at it.
Yeah, I was looking up. Is it even American?
Down with the dread oppressed their soldier ball. Happy was right. What? Free Tibbs. In it. I didn't delete the post. Happy deleted the post.
Oh, I do see it's a whiskey liqueur.
What? Some comfort.
Yeah.
You
It was originally a peach liqueur.
Oh no.
As long as you like it.
Yeah, I like it, bro. It's
I'll try it one day.
it's good. It's probably one of my favorite drinks, to be honest. One of my favorite spirits.
What's its ABV?
It'll be 40% probably.
Okay. Was it you who also liked the old fashioned?
Yeah, I like old fashioned. Oh, ABV 35.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, 35, 40. That kind of range is normal, isn't it?
Been a busy day today.
We start with what we've been up to. Let's have a look. When did 3.38 top 2 drop?
Friday?
9. Oh yes, that's sweet. What about the one before that? Okay, so no, yeah, just the one. So what did we add? We got outfit sharing. We made it so that you can get into cops' trunks now, so you can recover your stuff during raids. Some more fixes to the weed growing indoors. Shorty fixed our boat alarm problem. Finally, it seems to be fixed.
Heck yeah.
We got our new pay dirt processor right across the road from pay dirt itself, so that's been super busy. Every time I've swung by to check on it, there's be people there. We got a shitload of new clothes males. I think the females were the week before, but yeah, lately we've gone over like a lot of our clothing options. We've binned a lot of shit, added a lot of new stuff. Pairs, tops, trousers, shoes, like literally just everything. We've spent a fucking fortune. What else? Gelato's got added. They're open now. And then half patch notes for the next patch, which is live, but no patch notes yet. We got there's currently Valentine's map for Uwu, so that they're holding a little event. Kelly set up some hearts, roses, balloons, all that stuff outside. We just released the server transfer stuff for EU Tebex. We put it on the store last night, but the first transfer happened this morning. So it's working. That's cool. We moved fix kits to Tuesdaaaaay. And what's that?
You can no longer use the fix kit?
No, it has to be Tuesdaaaaay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a suggestion. And a lot of people were like accidentally using it in cars and falling out and stuff. So I thought, you know what, fuck it, we'll just put it on Tuesdaaaaay. I think it was Dave's suggestion. It had a lot of traction, so
Okay.
it's great.
I can see myself accidentally using it when trying to unseat someone as well.
Yeah. But also, like, if there was two cars parked next to each other, it wasn't always guaranteed to do the right car. Now, because it's Tuesdaaaaay, it's guaranteed to hit the car you actually try to put on.
Oh, okay, true.
We got duct tape as well. Yeah, that's a big one. Again, no
Well,
patch, no chat.
that's official?
Yeah, it's working, yeah.
I don't know, I'm out of the loop
think,
on that one.
Yeah, I think Happy did that one. We need to post some patch notes, really, but yeah, duct tape's out. You can mute people for 5 minutes with it. I think they either have to be cuffed or dead. And I think you also have the option of removing it early if you want to hear them. But yeah, it's in, work. That's never a long-term sort of request that people have had, so that's nice to get ticked off. I think that kind of catches us up on terms of what's done.
I just sneaked in that garage or change last night, but that wasn't too major.
Sure, yeah. So some of the garages have multiple pickup and drop-off spots now, right?
Yeah. Saw a suggestion for another garage. Might do it there as well.
We did we did more optimizations. Car drop, blew up the server again.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
Our drop was a little bit of an F.
Yeah, the Tebex one went fine. It was great, and after the success of the first day with Tebex, I was like, "Oh, awesome! Like this is how we should do car drops. It's gonna be great." And then the next day came along, and I was looking at the server console, and everything was green, and it all looked good. And then everybody just started dropping. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I made the announcement the cars are available, and then the pack of
It was just
losses
dead.
went
Yeah,
out
it
of
was just
control.
immediately
Yeah.
dead. Yeah. So we don't really have a great solution for this one because the problem is our vehicle store is closed source, which means the fixes we can make to it are limited. The long-term goal, I think, is either going to be just making our own. Well, I think it is making our own, likely rolling it into the TBM app so that it serves both player auctions and new cards. And that way we'll have the control to make those optimizations. The problem with things that aren't open source is that we have limited control, and when it comes to optimizations, it's hard to do. A lot of creators, I guess, don't put as much thought into optimization because most servers don't have as much traffic. Essentially, what it boils down to. Some devs are super respondent, so the Arco people, we've been talking to them, and they've been making improvements to some of the stuff. Because we had an issue with the report system being a bit too spammy. They've put out an update for us this week that's live. But yeah, we're just carrying on with optimizations the best we can. But it's still the main choke point is networking. But I think we're in a way better position than we were like just a couple weeks ago. So we're going in the right way.
Since the last stream, were any improvements made to the login process?
Yes. Yeah. So a big part of the login issue was around getting your keys for cars. That's all been redone. And that was causing, so on login, the garage script would spike for players, for the server, because all the players would try to load all the keys, and each person would have to load all of their owned keys and then all of their shared keys, and it was just melting the server. But that's not the case anymore, and I haven't seen the garage script spike since at all, which is super positive. We'd need the server to go into meltdown mode again to tell us whether it's completely fixed. But it did. In fact, when it what was it? When VU went down, that's it. So the event just after the car drop, VU. During that, the server died again, right? And after that, I didn't filter players to reconnect, and it went fine. So I think it wasn't working amazing beforehand, not because of the login process, but because people were still logging in and trying to get to cars, and it was struggling.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like the login process is way better. Can it still be improved? Probably. Not to do with the garages anymore, though. It's probably going to be back to the framework, probably somewhere in there, maybe. But yeah, like I said, over the last few weeks, we made like loads of progress. So feeling super good about it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not something that most players are going to notice because it's the targeted optimizations we've been making essentially are things that bring the entire server down or cause entire lag spikes where everybody. I suppose one thing you might notice is that hopefully, at least I haven't noticed any more lag spikes. So we used to have an issue where when somebody would buy a car on Tebex, the entire server would spike. But that doesn't happen anymore. We fixed that. Yeah. So I think there's no more. I haven't noticed any more spikes. We've made loads of optimizations, and yeah. The only big issue we have now is car drops. Yeah, and the car PDM script essentially can bring
Maybe
down the
mass
server.
events as well.
Yeah. Oh, and that too. Yeah, that's a harder one to solve because it's not. The problem with that is going to be networking again, I think, and I think that it's things like Arcor reports where it's trying to update
Tennis.
Yeah, it's trying to update like all the people in an area for tickets.
And we don't even need
So
that information.
yeah, exactly. So when you make a ticket and it has to log everybody around you, and then it just like it goes wild. Anyway, like I said, we got an update from Arcor in the last day or two for that, and they're continuing to work on it. So improvements on the way.
Yeah. I imagine for the event related stuff, we just need to look at what in the area is constantly sending information to everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Boom
We just need
boxes and
to
TVs and
When the server died, I just sat on character support with the network, not character, on character select without logging in with the network tab open just to see what the average Joe on the server is getting spammed with without doing anything. Like I'm not literally in character select, and that was my starting point. Essentially, I was looking at it and being like, I don't need any of this data. I'm not doing anything. I'm on character select. Why do I need this data?
yeah.
So
Because you're rendered in the world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, technically, you're instanced.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, you're supposed to be, yeah. Sometimes that doesn't quite work, but
Sometimes I see people at 000. But yeah, for the most part, though, they're instance, you know.
yeah. But yeah, those are kind of the starting steps where I start. I'm like, right, let's go somewhere and see what network traffic I'm getting that I don't need, and then see if I can reduce that or improve it. It's like dispatch calls were being sent to everybody, and then the client would decide whether this is important to you or not. That doesn't happen anymore. Now the server decides, okay, these dispatch notifications are for this group of people, and they will get the notification. We made loads of improvements like that, where there was loads of data going to loads of people, and as the server has more players, that becomes more of an issue for the server, not for players. Or I guess for both, really, because your network, if you've got a shit internet connection and you're getting spammed with useless shit that you don't need to know about, then
Yeah. People's packet loss shouldn't idle as high.
yeah. But yeah, it's definitely going well. Will we ever add? Yeah, so the pads will come to NA. In fact, the NA store is missing quite a lot, and I will probably be focusing on it more soon. So we've added the transfer item. Essentially, we're hoping to get people moving over from EU to NA that prefer the quieter server, but don't want to fresh start, essentially. And I also think I've not really talked to Kevin about this yet, but I think there's things we can do to help spur some more growth in NA in other ways. So I think we could probably. So there's a suggestion right now. I don't know how much backing it has yet. I think somebody posted it like last night about slashing the numbers for gangs in NA. I also think that we could probably slash the price on Tebex for new gangs. Things that are just going to help people establish on NA and shouldn't matter. Like,
Is it the lower MDT limit on an
yeah, probably, yeah. I don't know what number they were asking for. I feel like it was negative rated when I saw it. I'm not sure. Oh no, it's plus right now, but not very high. I don't agree with 5.
Right, I
But
think it's a good idea to lower it.
Yeah, currently it's at 20, EU's at 25, but I think it could come down to the 10, 15 range for sure. And then I think we could do things like cut the price of HQs in NA, cut the price of gang registrations on NA. Just things to like
Sure.
make it more competitive with a smaller group, because at the end of the day, we need smaller groups to build it up.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's a
and
good idea.
if they can get established more quickly, then awesome. Um, And then yeah, we need to bring in like all the same things that the EU store has. So I think it's missing like the racing bundles and stuff.
Kind of intentionally
Um,
was, to be honest. Just
yeah,
not trying to sell
yeah,
too much on the NA store.
yeah. But
I do
I
like the
think
idea
we
of making it cheaper to start a crew and lowering the crew limit. I mean, you
yeah
could, yeah, crew limit.
we can definitely do it on the Tebex store. I don't know how we achieve it in game because as far as I know, I don't think we actually have regional pricing right now.
Mm,
Or regional stores or anything like that. We have a lot of regional code, but nothing for Ox. And so I'm not sure if we can change the in-game price, but we can definitely change the out-of-game price. And if people are transferring from EU to NA, they're going to come across with a bunch of money anyway, probably. So I'm not that worried about the in-game price, for now at least.
mm.
Nobody's ever applied for that Up and Atom gold.
We don't have up and atom food prepared, but
Yeah,
I saw that there was a new one in grapeseed. So if we did prepare
yeah. Did
stuff
you ever
for
look at
it, it
that
would be.
video?
Not really. I saw the announcement. I saw what they were releasing, and I saw
Mm-hmm.
that stuff was restricted to a bundle.
Yeah, it's like €85 for all of it. There's like 10 interiors, 5 of them are houses. There's an Up and Atom, a Sheriff Place, a gang that is Lost MC, but I think we could probably debrand it so it can be anybody. I don't know. It seems pretty cool. It would bring Grapeseed to life a bit more.
Yeah.
I think the north is already starting to get a bit more busy, especially with that new processor crossroad from Paydirt. That's like Kill and I went to the city processor yesterday to see what it was like, and it was much quieter than normal. So I think it's just more things to help people move north, which is obviously a plus. I want to bring it a bit more into life.
We would need to possibly see if any of these new interiors would conflict with anything we have there. I know we have the Black Lantern MLO, which I believe is being rented by a
Right.
crew.
Yeah. That's true. So I had to look at the map, and it looks like it's the entirety of Grapeseed. So I think that black planting would be broken. Probably completely. And I don't think there's anything else up there. So, yeah, the cost of
There's like a
installing all
Gab's
that would be...
clothing store and a Gab's 24/7.
Sure, but those are just default. Like, Gabs
Right,
hasn't
right. So as
changed
long
any
as you
of
didn't
the
touch those,
collisions. Yeah,
right?
so I don't think it would matter. I don't think. Yeah, I guess we'd have to see. Either way, you'd think that if there was an issue with those, that they'd release a compatibility for it or something, because it feels like those would be the most common.
Right. Yeah, I would think so as well.
Because I think I'm sure they release compatibility for like the Mirror Park houses and stuff, don't they? That are also Gabs mapped.
I think there was an update at some point for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have NA to EU transfers yet. It's something we might do in the future. Well, we probably will do in the future. But how far in the future that is, I don't know. So essentially,
Yeah.
the reason we're
Kind of the
not...
point of these isn't to do that. The point is to get
Yeah,
people on NA.
yeah, exactly. The idea behind it is to get people on NA. And once NA is like to the point where it's got queues and stuff, then we can consider two-way traffic, and the price of those transfers will increase. At the moment, it is the cheapest item on the Tebex just to get people moving. Yeah, the whole idea of it is to help NA grow, essentially, for people who like STRP but maybe a computer can't handle EU, or they just prefer a quieter server, or they want a fresh start without losing all their skills. There's different reasons for the move, but having the ability to do it is the first step, right? Because I think that's stops a lot of people from doing it. So removing that restriction, I guess, could be good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I said, we had the first person transfer across this morning. It worked didn't work first time, but we worked through
Oh.
it. Yeah. There was some indexing in the database that meant that his character couldn't be deleted. So it was backing up his character, but it wouldn't then delete it because there was there was some foreign indexes that needed to cascade. So luckily, got it third time. I just kept giving him the item back again. It wasn't able to delete his character, and so it wouldn't transfer, but got there in the end up. It is all tested and working now, so the path is clear. And yeah, like I said, because of the way it's coded, thank fuck, we didn't lose any data anyway. So
Yeah, thankfully.
yeah,
That makes sense. That would happen though.
yeah. Well, it's like, because I obviously done test runs on my local, but I don't have things like bidding history or all these things that are foreign keyed, Twitter and all this shit that I obviously don't mess around with on my local. Like, I'm not going to tweak myself.
Is there something we can do on the live table that resolves that same issue, but for deleting vehicles?
If when you delete a vehicle you have an issue, if you
Yeah,
show me
there's
the
a.
error, I can fix it.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I think it's the same thing, and it's for marketplace listings. It's for TVM history, which is called marketplace listing.
I might have fixed it already then,
Oh, sick. Okay.
and if not, just give me the error and I'll be able to fix it.
Yeah, next time I look at it, I'll do it. It'll be handy because on Mark Madrazo, since he gets dumped cars constantly, not constantly, but he gets dumped cars. I'm not going to list journeys on TVM. So and that's
Sure.
I've had
Yeah.
like 80 journeys at some point. So and
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, cool. I'll let you know next time it happens, if it happens.
I want to own Bahama Mamas as a gang leader, as a legal business. I don't know. Like, it's a weird one. So the businesses are kind of intentionally different to gangs, just so that they can have perks like as many employees as you want without conflicting with things like we couldn't give that to gangs because then there would be one mega gang and they'd control everything they want to. Um, and if we peeled away, like if we let gangs run businesses, I don't know. It's like, I mean, what I don't know if you've got any thoughts on that, Kevin, but
Uh, uh, in character, the best thing I can think of is your gang would organize someone else to run the business for you, and technically it'd be yours in character, I guess. But besides that, like I think we're keeping official businesses separate from from gangs for those reasons you stated.
mhm.
We could possibly have certain places like Bahama Mamas that are available to gangs to rent as their HQ, but I don't think I guess if they want as a sec I wouldn't want to give the option for like, right now, I wouldn't wanna give the option for a gang, even whitelisted, to take up 2 properties right now. I think it'd be more efficient for us to offer different groups to run these businesses just so they have a higher chance of actually being open. Because if they'll also see how to run also, that Bahama Mamas, I doubt it's gonna have as much availability on top of their other activities. Unless he wanted to, like, I don't know, own it and then have other people run it. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what one of the other reasons for sure that you touched on there is having like a dedicated group for a business, because we like we went through a phase where every gang would have like a business front, or we were trying to do that, um, but they were just neglected, and places would go unused. Like we'd create a restaurant, a gang, and it would barely get used. It's like, hmm. And a lot of
Right.
effort goes into creating these items and getting all that set up. And if it's not getting the use that it could, like from an actual dedicated group for a business, then it's a bit of a waste of our time, really.
Yeah, we haven't really talked again about the the crew system, but for businesses. And if we were gonna set up businesses, how would a group just start, working at it? I don't know if we're actually gonna do that. We haven't really gone to the point yet where we have a place available, or so we haven't got to the point where we have a place that's ready to be used but not being used.
Yeah, we're still
I
kind of
guess the only
making it
only
on
case is
demand.
actually maybe Vespucci Burger Shot isn't being used, so technically that could be
Yeah,
a um
true.
a
Yeah,
test run of anyone being able to just rent that out, or we could just probably find a group to rent it out anyways, do an application.
yeah. And other thing, like if we ended up doing like a menu for Up and Atom, well, the Gypsy thing that would have two available. Um, but yeah, like with
Sorry, your
business.
satellite's reconfiguring.
Oh shit. Well, I was gonna say like with businesses, it's a bit like gangs come and go quite a lot, but with businesses, they're kind of mostly long term. Like Cat Cafe and Fred's have existed forever. Um, so I don't know. Like there's less sort of reusability, unless it's like I said, two. We've got two burger shop maps. We could have two up and at maps, but outside of that, the business side of stuff is pretty custom and not very reusable. And they don't really like sharing with each other either. So can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah. Someone mentioned the Ballers Records place. I mean, place something like that, we would offer gangs. You know, I wouldn't consider a record studio a business that we want to be ran as a business. It's just a could definitely be a gang HQ.
Yeah, and I think nightclubs do fit into that sort of kind of in between where they don't need they don't need to have custom menus and stuff. There could just be a generic drinks menu that we can allow a gang to use and run a nightclub if we wanted to. I'm
Hmm.
not super against it. Um,
I had the idea for NPC strippers that would dance on the poles if you turned them on, like if you like activated them. So imagine like a strip club only technically needed a bartender to run, maybe a bartender and a doorman, and then you
sure,
get a
yeah,
minimum have the dance floor occupied with AI.
yeah,
And you play some music on your boombox, you have bars or drinks at the bar, and you have a guy dealing with the door.
hmm
Obviously, using real people is way better, and
yeah. Oh
you know,
yeah, for sure.
I'm not trying to change anything with how the other or how VU currently does it.
Yeah.
But if we
Well,
wanted to
that's
let people use
that's
them,
yeah. That's the thing, and why I'm kind of like half like I'm okay with it because we do only really have one nightclub and they have no competition, and they want to move to the new nightclub we have, and I was like, sure. I mean, it's not like anybody else wants a nightclub, or no businesses want a nightclub at least. So I was like, yeah, you can have it. Um, but yeah, I think if we did open the door for gangs, it would be fine, really. It'd be cool to have some sort of automation to it, like you say. We did set the system up so that you can own more than one location, Giles. The only reason we haven't enabled it, well, it is enabled, but the limit is one, is because we don't have enough properties and there's a million gangs. So we can do it, but it's just not very fair, I guess.
unnecessary.
Yeah, like it'd be nice to have like I think we were talking about having it set to 2 for NA, because there's loads of availability. But at the end of the day, on EU, there's loads of gangs and not enough properties. So having two gangs tied up in one, sorry, two properties tied up with one gang, just yeah, unnecessary. There is already a gang next to the pawn shop in Grapeseed, if that's what you're talking about. It is a gang base. I don't think
Yeah,
there's a
that
pawn
Black
shop
Lantern
in
bar.
Sandy. Yeah. Any more spicy HQs? So the basement of that hot nightclub, I still need to set that up. That'll be the next one. And then we'll also be at the same time putting up the old Rednecks Ranch, the O'Neill's farm. So that'll also go up. Those are the next two gang HQs that are definitely on the way. Beyond that, I haven't really been looking into it past that. The next big thing I'm going to be working on this week is Stanton. Um,
Oh, really?
it's happening. Yeah, I had a look at
What?
it, and I had a decent look at the code,
Which
and
one? Renzu?
yeah, Renzu. It looks like it's all done through state bags. I don't think there's going to be any shittery. It's all open source. The menus look clean.
Nice.
I think yeah, I think I'm gonna get it in this week.
Only thing I would suggest without putting too much of my fingers in it at first would just be like try to keep it more restricted, I guess, just to avoid people trolling with it. Because I want it to be a thing, but I want it to be a thing because I want body kits to look good. I don't want it so people can make their tires super stupid and unrealistic.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Because I know some people just play this game, don't care about appearances. They got their square resolutions and lowest quality textures, and they'll put their tires, unrealistically and stuff just to troll.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Yeah, exactly that. Mech Gear. I think the stancer or the stancer menu and all that will be mechanics only. So you'll need to go down to mechanics to get done. I also think at the same time I'm going to, and this one might get some boos from people in chat, but I'm going to change the pricing on car upgrades. I'm going to make it class based so that for the X classes you're going to be paying probably a lot more, and for like D class maybe you'll be paying a little bit less. But
I
essentially
think
it's
that's
going to
good.
be, yeah, it's going to be scaled. So if you're maxing out your Rumpo now, it should be a bit cheaper. But if you're maxing out a Bugatti, it's going to cost you much more. So if your Bugatti's not currently maxed, get it done before I make the update. So that should also give mechanics a bit more leeway to pricing and being profitable, especially with Stanson coming in as well. And then the one other thing that I'd love to get in for mechanics is chameleon paint, but no promises on that. I don't know. Like I tried to do it at the end of last year, but the way chameleon paint works is nothing like normal GTA paints. It's like streamed. It's really fucking weird. I don't know if now that we're on the latest GTA build, whether it's any different or easier. If it is awesome, we might see it soon. If it's still weird, I don't know if we'll do it. Just because you basically add paints onto the end of normal paints. That would mean that when the next update comes out, whenever they add new paints, you'd fuck all the previous ones and they'd become non-camo or non or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, it's strange. It's not a logical way. It's kind of like we'd be in the same situation with when we're adding clothes and we change game builds and all your clothes get fucked. That would happen to all your cars, and it's not really. If we can avoid it, I'd rather avoid it.
Yeah. That's good news, though. I'm looking forward to stancing. There's a good handful of cars that have wide body kits that have been
Yeah. Well, I know you.
underutilized for 3 years.
Yeah, I know you've been looking for stances for forever, and we did have a look a long time ago at some other stances, but they were shit. And then I think it was Alan was posting videos of it in staff chat the other day, and I had a look at it, and I was like, oh, the UI for this is really clean. And I had a proper look through the code. I was like, oh, it's all state backed now as well, so fuck it, let's do it.
Nice.
I'm gonna be right back because the dog's going on. I think he needs fed.
No worries. I wonder how stancing will affect car values. I know the OG GTR has body mods, some pretty sick body mods for a wide body build out. That'd be cool to see. The new KN GT also has a pretty cool wide body setup. That'd be sick. I know the old Subaru BRZ I think has some sick wide body stuff. It's gonna be really cool to see. It's gonna be sick, honestly. I know everyone doesn't like wide bodies, but a good chunk of people do. I think that's why this has kind of been delayed for a while. I know Sojabo he always thought wide body cars were ugly. New Huracan should have the same sound as OG Huracan. You talking about that Furia in PDM for 8 mil? I guess we could assume it has a V10 engine. I don't know.
Yeah, I could hear you there, and yeah, I think wide bodies are disgusting, but I'll take one for the team. Any update on the other
Yo.
servers? No. So the PvP server, that's pretty much permanently shelved at the moment. We started building it on.
No.
Well, I mean, it is really, isn't it?
I would do the PvP server before zombie.
I mean, well, I'd say they're both kind of on the shelf at the moment. So the PvP
Oh, for
server,
sure, for sure.
we started building it on Oxcore, and Oxcore has since gone through a complete rewrite. And this is why we have held off on moving to that, because it's not got 1.0 release yet. They completely changed the language it's written in, so the PvP server is probably fucked.
Doesn't
But
need to.
it's not like we've done a lot on it anyway, right?
I still think that's like the professional way to do it. That then we're hindering ourselves from doing it because of it. But I think the best way would have been to do it would just have been to just take STRP and strip it down to what it needs and then build off that.
Yeah, I mean that's that. So that was the approach that we took with the zombie server. And there's nothing stopping the zombie server continuing. It's just that STRP takes all of our time essentially.
For sure. And the zombie server is
um,
way more detailed, I think.
yeah, it's kind of the same thing that stops me spending a bunch of time on like a whitelist server. It's like STRP is needy, like, and like we could go without updates for a while. We absolutely could, but
I don't like that.
exactly. Nobody likes it. Everybody wants new content, and we're kind of used to having new content all the time. Even if it's not like something big and flashy, we're constantly like every day there is updates being pushed. We don't get patch notes every day, but there is something different or changed or tweaked every single day, and that's part of what I think makes SRP special. And to be honest, I haven't played other servers, so I don't know if they have the same treatment. But we have a pretty decent sized team, and they all work on different things and do different stuff. And I don't know. I think we do well, but try to manage several different servers that do different things is a lot of work. So it's we absolutely want to 100%. Right? um, It's just how do we keep up that level of, I guess, service or care and attention that we have for the main server, whilst also catering to others. And like we already struggle, I'd say, with catering to NA, which is a replica of EU. So how the fuck are we going to also then tend to a server that is completely different? So yeah, there's challenges. We dream big, but sometimes it's difficult to deliver to the level that everybody expects.
For sure. And especially with how much we've been growing, it makes sense to keep, you know,
Yeah, well
focusing and
that's it.
polishing
Like
and
recently, we've been like over the last couple of weeks, I've been focusing more on optimizations than features. Like I've done a couple little features like outfit sharing and stuff, but nothing big. And that's mainly because we've been going through again another like rapid growth, and optimizations are important. Like at the end of the day, if we want to grow, we need them. Um,
an optimization a day keeps Kevin's anger away. I love seeing optimizations, honestly. It's great. I love when we just not we, but the team finds random things here and there to, oh wait, this could be much better, and then just makes it much better. It's great. I don't think the Ferrari SUV is going to get a buff. One thing that is in need of checking though is to make sure all the vehicles that were purchased, Tebex and PDM, have the appropriate engine upgrades. There's a good chance that a good chunk don't. I already came across one that doesn't, so I'll run a query so that every engine gets set to the right thing, and that might fix your vehicle if you're noticing any weird acceleration. But regarding the Ferrari SUV, I think it's in a perfect spot, so I don't think it's gonna get changed. And someone was asking about the Continental SS, but I don't foresee that being changed either.
Yeah, so I mean, our server would support a lot more players, to be honest, and we're upgrading it anyway. We have this sort of internal goal of remaining as the highest population #1 UK server, essentially. So people like to cry when I raise the player cap, but I don't know, man. I'm competitive. I don't want to be #2. Well, so the main people we compete with is CMG, and their cap is 1,000. They never reach it, but let's have a look at the top servers right now. Let's see, they're currently ahead of us. The last couple of weeks, it's been back and forth. Like we were ahead of them for so long, but over sort of winter when 5M sort of blew up and our numbers started skyrocketing, I think we kind of noticed a little bit slower. Or maybe it's not that we noticed slower; it's that their cap was already at 1,000, so they were able to just consume that growth, whereas we couldn't because we had massive queues at one point.
Yeah, we bumped up because we had over 100-man queues.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been increasing our cap bit by bit, by decent chunks. Like last jump was like from 580. No, I suppose it was only 20, but still, like it's crazy to think like just a jump of 20 people makes such a difference. Like that's a full gang.
Yeah.
And like thinking all the way back, like when the server cap was actually like 24.
What,
It's an
back in
extra
like
server.
2017?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, back in 2017, we had 4 servers at one point that I think were 24 pop each.
yeah. And it's wild to think that we can just bosh, and the demand is there. Like people are instantly there. The server is up and queued immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I remember when 5M first made their server list and they took a screenshot of it, and
And we won
we
it.
were we
Yeah.
were we were the number 1 on it. We were the only
Yeah.
honestly, we were the only server that was full, I
Yeah.
think, at the time, just because it was a weird time of the day. But
Mhm.
yeah,
But
interesting
yeah,
times.
that's um that's the story behind why we keep increasing, I guess. Like we wanna remain the #1. And the last few weeks we've been back and forth on who's higher pop, I guess. But like, was it Monday? We were at 600, with like a 50-man queue, and they were at 614, I think. So they were technically ahead of us, but had we been at a higher cap, we would have been ahead. Yeah. When that happens, I'm sat there like, should I just increase it?
It's just for fun, though, honestly. It's not like an actual
No,
competition,
no,
like,
yeah, of course, yeah.
we don't even know them.
No, exactly. I've never even played it. I have no idea if it's actually good. Well, I mean, it must be good because it's
Busy
the
as fuck.
competition, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun, though. It's
Yeah, I mean,
interesting seeing the other servers try to increase their population as well, like the American servers. I noticed try to bump their caps up a little bit. I've been surprised how the American servers, they haven't really gotten onto this over like 300, 350 player cap train. One
a lot
server,
of
High Life, went from like 350 to 400. I thought that was gonna be them bumping up in size, but they really haven't. No one really else has done
yeah,
it.
like if you look at like I don't know, a lot of servers. I guess pricing will be one thing, because to jump from like what is the cap for the band beneath us, like 128. Like a lot of servers get to that and stay around there, don't they? Like I think is Neat server not still? I don't remember what it is called, but is
I
he
think
not
he's
still
just
like
on like
100?
2017 uh like 5M builds. I don't I think his characters are flickering hair colors when it's busy, so
Yeah, well, I mean, we still get that if you have enough people in the same area. I
yeah.
don't
But I remember
think.
when
I think
we were
that's a 5M thing.
yeah, when we were first growing out of we were trying to switch to Infinity, and then because before when
Yeah, well,
Infinity,
yeah,
we were at like
exactly.
128.
It used to be the entire server, right?
Yeah,
Because you would render the entire server, but it was one sync and the bubbles that cured that for us. But yeah, if you have like a VU event and there's a bunch of people down there, that's when it can start to come back because that cap has been reached inside that bubble.
yeah.
I was thinking for big events like that, we could instance the interior.
Uh-huh.
That would be an option to us because that would mean that life outside, like a police chase going by, isn't like half the chase isn't just going to head pop try to load 100 people.
Right.
So I guess there's two big areas where we could improve these indoor events: instancing the building and adding a public garage to the outside. Because half the FPS loss is those cars.
Yeah, true. I love the idea of instancing it. It sounds very complicated and new tech. Um, but if it could be done, that'd be interesting. The whole
It
public
absolutely
garage
can
thing,
be
my
done, yeah.
scare is just it being used as a garage unnecessarily outside of the events, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of an issue that would really be anyway. Like it pains me when there's like, so for the car drop, I went to PDM in City and my FPS dropped to like 20 and it never dropped to fucking 20. But the whole street was cluttered in cars and I just deleted every single car. And there was still like, and my FPS went up by 30. It went back up to like 50, 60. And it was, I mean, that's still not great, but it's because PDM itself was absolutely crammed with people. But it just shows you how much of a difference getting rid of those cars would be, and if people could park them up and temporarily store them, essentially,
Yeah.
make a big difference.
There could be it could be a garage update with my idea here I'm about to share. It could be like a type of garage that has like you can store it in there, and if it's left in there for longer than an X period of time, then the withdrawal has a fee to it. To like, it's like, because I was say the vents for like 4 hours, and they can make it. Then the garage is free for 4 hours, but if they end up parking their bins in there constantly, it's gonna cost them to take it out.
I wonder if there would be a way to have it so that it's like temporary parking where you store it there and you can get it back out there, but only during that session. And if you don't get back during that session, it just goes back to the garage it came from.
Sure. I mean, we already have a column in the owned vehicles table for last garage, so we can
Last
vote on
garage,
something like
yeah.
that.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
we're
it's being
using
used
that
anymore
anymore.
either.
Yeah. So we maybe there's a way
Some
to
kind
do
of some kind
that.
of temporary garage system, I think, would be really
Exactly.
beneficial for
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. 'Cause then you can store them there during events, and even if you don't pull them back out, it'll go back to your actual garage, so you don't have to really worry about it too much.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a definite potential. Should take some notes. Have you taken any notes?
Nope. Mental
Yeah,
notes.
I'll write that down.
I can though. I had notes open, but you got it.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Garage
can't just
parking.
pull the V12 sound out of my ass, and I'm very picky when it comes to engine sounds. So I can't promise you a V12 sound for your car. Sorry, but if I do come across something that I do like and want to utilize it, then I'll try to throw it on that car.
So the things I've written down are temporary garage parking, business/event, instancing, and stancing.
Yes.
I ain't saying all those are getting done in this week,
No, no, no. But those are things you're interested in.
but those are things I'm interested in.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah. The dynamic.
Upgrade. Oh yeah, upgrade pricing. You're right. Yeah. Dynamic.
We love dynamic pricing.
Yeah, dynamic.
Yeah, I saw your question about the wheels, Tony. I'm not too sure. Um, maybe something I can talk to Finn about if he wants to try. Finn can definitely take a wheel off a car or change the wheels on a car, but I don't know if I mean it's not something either of us I don't think have done before where it's taking a wheel off a car and saving it as an individual asset and then streaming it. You know, we stream some custom rims right now, and I haven't added new rims since I added those, and that had been over a year and a half ago at least. I see some rims get released sometimes, but the file sizes are always really big,
That's what
so
worries
it
me
it
most
deters me
about
away
like
from it.
custom wheels is the fact that we already have all these custom cars that poly-wise are way higher than default GTA, and then if we add custom wheels that, let's face it, if you're making a custom wheel, you're making it so it looks good, which means inherently that
Yeah.
it's gonna be high quality. So I don't know. Head-in display, bruh. I can tell you what way I'm facing without anything. Right? It's just you figure it like, how do you not know? Like, if you've played the game and you have played the game for long enough, you just know which way's north.
It's not so much that, it's like the numerical system, he wants to know the numerical heading.
Oh, you're looking okay for pinpoint actually. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking. I didn't read the entire wall. I just got down to head, and I was like, It's like when you take a turn onto like Adam's apple. I know whether you're going east or west. Like, you know what I mean? I was thinking for chase callouts, but if you're talking, yeah,
I mean, the Yellow's custom repair costs are already 60% cheaper, I'm pretty sure, or is it 40% cheaper?
um, they do get a decent discount. I can't remember how much it is, but I think they were asking for a bigger discount. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't just increase their prices, because you don't need. I don't know how much of a discount they give players, but essentially you could choose to give them a 1% discount if you really wanted to. I mean, you're not going to get as much business, obviously, but that markup is the window is there, right?
Yeah, I mean, Surge Bullet is gonna increase the upgrade costs depending on the vehicle class. So upgrade
Yeah,
costs are gonna go up, and they're gonna go down for lower end vehicles.
which also means that that percentage makes a lot more difference at a higher price. So, like 40% of 100K is 40K, whereas a 40% of $1,000 is $400. So, you know what I mean? Like, when you're making a big upgrade to an X class, you're probably going to want to save that money by going to a mechanic. Whereas if you
Yeah.
upgrade in a D class, you might just eat the extra cost because you're like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah, I think the X and S and probably A as well are definitely gonna be wanting to go get that discount.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, Paul, but what are you arguing at this point? 'Cause I'm pretty sure we're agreeing.
Bring back gang distract. Nah. I had PD asking me to bring back their old ping system as well. I was like, no, it's not happening. Most of the captains don't even know where it was because it's that long ago, but some of them know where it is, and they were like trying to sell. It's like, no, not happening. Get that out of your head. They were
Bring
like,
back old gang blips.
they were like, yeah, but isn't that NVR? I'm like, yeah, bro, but they still do it. Like hitting
And it
your
ruins
panic
the whole
when
entire fucking situation.
it's like, no, bro, we ain't going back down that road. We've been there, we've tried it. Not good, never worked out. Ain't coming back.
Yeah, the Benson is removed from boosting.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we
I
definitely
think
could use a
moved
counter
that.
for the submarines. I think we talked about a couple of decent options.
Yeah, I don't really know how to like. Just submarines in general are so shit, man. I hate that
It
people
just needs to be a queue
have to
target
do
option
these.
for police officers. If it's that model, just disable the engine from the outside.
Yeah, but that requires it being stationary. Otherwise, how the fuck are you getting to it? You can't swim faster than it.
Is it that much faster than the flippers?
Yeah, it goes like 20 miles an hour. I don't know how fast you swim, but it's definitely not 20 miles an hour.
Okay. Give it a fuel tank.
Why does it not have a fuel tank, actually? Wait, I think no boats have a fuel tank. That's why, right?
Boats don't have
Because
fuel?
I don't think any of our boats have fuel, right? I think that's what it is, and it's because how I guess you'd have to get fuel cannons to build them. That's right.
Yeah, I think we could give, either give boats fuel or at least give that submarine fuel.
Yeah,
I still think the third eye option should be a thing, and also the fuel.
yeah. It's still shit. Even when we do that, it's still just a shit. Like you're you're forcing everybody into a 20-mile-an-hour born as shit chase. Essentially, it's just so fucking shit.
It's everyone's time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, bro. Fake fights is something we've wanted forever, but
Yeah.
we just have the forever issue of the way that our trunk and glove box inventories work is they're tied to your number plate, and we don't have a good way of masking it. Essentially, like having a visibly different number plate to what's under the hood and what it's reaching for. I'm sure there is solutions to it, but yeah, it's I don't know, a weird one.
I'm not too passionate about fake plates, to be honest. So that's why I don't really bring it up.
Yeah, it's one of those nice to haves, and it makes total sense for things like because like taking your expensive car to a bank has always been like really shit RP, but if you can slap fake plates onto it, it makes way more sense. So I understand the want for it 100%. It's just the delivery of it is difficult. Kayla just sent me a screenshot of she's cleared out that
Yeah.
progress.
The pay dirt trailer park. There's only one submarine happy that players can access.
I think so, yeah. The 4-door one. I don't know if they've got access to the 2-door one. There are other submarines like 2-door ones, but
Yeah, it's two door.
no, it's a 4. The Avisa is 4-man.
Oh, right. But it's the Avisa. Avisa.
Yeah,
$950,000. It's an S class. Oh yeah, I saw you posting some statistics. Are you gonna set up some players' stats anywhere or anything like that?
yeah. No. Yeah, we've been logging like more detailed kill info since like October last year. Initially, we were using it to find cheaters. Because it's quite detailed logs. But yeah, we log stuff like who the killer's job was and the victim's job. So there's some cool statistics you can take away from it, like which gangs have the most kills, which people kill the most cops, stuff like that. Those are the kind of things I've been looking at it for.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't really planning on doing anything. I definitely don't think I want to do any sort of leaderboard or anything because it would encourage people to just. It's not really something I want to encourage. Unlucky fuck. But yeah, we have a lot of interesting takeaway stats from it. Even personal stuff like what you get the most, which weapon you get the most kills with, or which gang kills you the most, things like that. I don't know.
I think we need to display people's invite cooldown on their MD team.
That's not a bad shout. The amount of, I suppose the amount of tickets for that isn't nowhere near as high as it used to be, but yeah. Oh, wait, that's something I added this week that I haven't put in change logs anyway. Somebody requested we have the radio count in radio, and I added it yesterday, I think. So it says the
radio
channel
count.
name. It says the channel name, and then in brackets the number of people in your channel.
Oh, okay.
It has a lot of upvotes. I don't know why people need that information. Maybe it's more important for gangs. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if like when gangs
Counting's
are
hard,
arranging
bro.
to fight each other, they're like, yeah, we've got 20. How many have you got? And they arrange a fight that way. I have no idea if that's what it's for, but it had a lot of upvotes, and it was easy to do. So I was like, okay, fuck it, you can have it.
Counting's hard. Add feature.
Oh yeah.
Phil, regarding your question about the auction system, I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, sorry, I saw that question as well, and I forgot. Yeah. Well, what is it that you're asking for? What's a boosting auction? I don't understand.
Boosting contract auction. So I'm guessing it's like, oh, I have this S class available, so I can sell it to you guys if you guys want, or something like that.
Lucky
Or maybe S classes become
Wild.
available and the people can bid on them to get them. I don't know. I was looking at the config just quickly and I didn't see anything like that.
There's definitely nothing in the script for it. If you don't want to do it yourself, you list it for others to buy. I'd be interested to see, like, is that something you've seen somewhere or just a suggestion?
Yeah, he did say he you didn't even read his whole freaking question. If you just read his whole thing, you he said seen it in other cities with spam boosting system.
Send us some screenshots of that. I'd be interested to see what it looks like. I assume it's not part of the. In fact, I'm almost 100% sure that's not part of the actual system.
Oh my god, we got raided. Let's go.
Oh shit! What up, Leroy?
Okay,
yeah, I don't hate the idea. I am a little bit worried that people who have like unlocked ANS class can just live off of an easy income by selling their contracts to people who have not yet unlocked them.
The missions are already free 99. It'd be even easier, I guess, just to sell it, but I think there's some bugs with the A-class missions that need to be addressed at some point.
Yeah. As far as I know, I file it under optimization, but as far as I know, the piles of dead bodies is fixed. There's no longer piles of dead bodies at every boosting spot.
Some of our professional boosters who have been doing ANS for a long time need to just finally share us the exploits that are used and are known about, ideally as a video, so we can report it to the devs to get it fixed. I know they exist. I just don't know how to instantly repeat them. And I know there's bugs that happen out of players' control, and if you just continue the mission, they just get it for free pretty much. But it happens. It'd be nice to actually get some video evidence of it so we can do something about it.
Yeah, I've been reporting a few things to Bra lately. They they're pretty good at responding, but their updates are fairly slow. So when we get them, I don't know. My last suggestion was 2 days ago, and I said custom blips, and that one was for I'd like the A class and the S class to have different blips on the map, so police can respond appropriately. Now, there's nothing to say you have to turn up with a slower car, but at least they have that decision, and they're deciding to be a knobhead if they show up in their class with a fucking Camaro or whatever the fast car is. I don't know. Because I understand, like, if you are driving around in a Camaro and you go to a boost, you don't know if it's an A or an S, and there's no way for us to differentiate. So at the moment, that is completely out of our control. So that feature would be lovely. At least then people have that choice to make, because some people do want to play fair. But yeah.
There's a screenshot in clips, videos, and memes of a guy test driving a jet ski and a token to the airport.
I suppose if we got contract options as well, we could finally. The option of adding X class would appear, I think, because at the moment the problem kind of have is even with the S class we have to push out enough contracts frequently enough so that they're actually taken up and used. But with like X class, that number would be super low, right? Like we don't want everybody to have an X class. Like it's more like the lottery where you win it and you're like, oh shit, I've got an X class. Do I do it or do I sell it? Not quite the odds of the lottery, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, I would
It's
say
it's not like a guarantee that
no
you
to
log
X
in.
class.
You'd say what, just outright?
Yeah, probably not worth adding.
Mm.
It just
One of the other things that
the boosting really messes with like cars that are, I guess, supposed to be more limited. You know, so I think at least it's like the risk for using a boosted vehicle isn't that high. Like using boosted storage vehicles is like the best thing to do in the city now. So I feel like a lot of people's storage vehicles, like they're all stolen and there's very little risk, I guess. I don't know. I
sure,
just think there's not
but
enough risk in having these really fancy vehicles for cheap.
yeah, well, I was gonna say like for storage cars, sure, but none of those are gonna be X class, right? All the X class are gonna be like the super fast cars, and if
Yeah.
I would much prefer people are using boosted X classes for bank jobs than their real cars, because at the end of it,
True.
if they get caught, that car's gone. It makes way more sense. But I guess the only issue with that is convincing people to do it, because why do that when I can just use my real car and it just goes back to the impound and maybe I'll lose it for a couple hours. Don't give a fuck, right? Unless we made VIN scratches much cheaper to keep, then I don't know how we convince people to actually make that decision to use a stolen car instead of an owned car.
I think you're missing out on some income, Phil, because you can VIN scratch like a Speedo van for super cheap and then sell it on TBM for like 10x the cost. I haven't done any racing recently, cruddy, so I'm not too sure how bad it is with all the people in the city, but I do know it does suck when your race gets messed up because of all the people driving like assholes. I'm kind of okay with permanent phasing personally,
I
but
am like, yeah, I'm of
I
two
can see
minds.
why.
Like, we had it for a while, and people requested it comes off. And there's been suggestions to bring it back, but a lot of the races voted down. And it's like one of those hard things. Like, if we do have permanent phasing, we're locking cops out. And at
Yeah,
that
if there
point,
was some way for police to join the phase, that'd be cool.
yeah, exactly. So at that point, what do we just like? I don't know if it's possible, but why not just instance the races and have them race essentially in their own instance?
Not a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah, because like if cops can't get involved, you could not worry about phasing because the only people you're going to run into is other races and locals. In fact, you already run into locals with phasing, so it would just be the other races. And I think that competitively, that's good because you can block people overtaking you, and I think that's a legitimate tactic.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll look into instance in racing if there's demand.
And if it's possible.
I think it might. Yeah. If it's not, maybe that's a suggestion we make to them. But yeah, I think we absolutely could throw them into well, from technical standpoint, it's absolutely possible to throw everybody into an instance.
Right.
Whether we have the hooks to do it in that script, I don't know. And if we don't, we might be able to ask for it. Is that a solution people would like?
And also got to think about the ways that people could possibly abuse it. And set some kind of systems up to counteract that, I guess.
Yeah. Personally, I think vehicle storage should be. I hate the vehicle storage meta as well, but I don't know how to address it unless we add car tax and say you're now paying for storage fees for all your vehicles.
I don't know. I mean, there's not enough housing for everyone. There are the unlimited apartments and storage units, and they are very used. They're definitely used. Um, it's just stuff is heavy. People who have big operations and do a lot of dealing and trades. They need that kind of stuff, and it's convenient just to have a place. One thing I can think of possibly is maybe public garages have a limit on how many vehicles you can actually keep there. Same thing could be for housing and stuff like that. We can limit how many cars can actually go in your garage. That's one thing I think of to help with that. But a lot of people rely on it, so it'd be a pretty big change if we really disrupted it heavily.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there'd be a bit of an outcry. Like, I know you guys are currently saying you'd like it. I think there's quite a few people that are for the idea, but I think there's probably people don't like losing money or convenience, and I feel like a lot of people would have something to say about this one. But I do think it is. I like the idea. It's a eco drain. It encourages people to use proper storage. Like the fact that people can hide all the stuff in cars, and it's almost impossible for police to find it or people to see it. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's a bit of a shit system. I don't know. It's just finding solutions that work and don't immediately gimp like half the server.
Yeah.
It would definitely shake up the car market and stuff because you'd now be forced to pay for all those cars that are collecting dust in your garage. If it was a tax thing, if it was just a limit per garage, you could. I mean, there's shitloads of garages, so you could still spread them all out if you wanted to. But
Yeah. Maybe public garages have a tax.
yeah, would PD cars be affected? Well, I mean, I guess it'd be the same.
How many cars does an officer need?
Well, that too. I mean, I only use one, so I don't know why you'd need.
We're talking about people who have like 60 plus storage vehicles. And police officers, having like 12 cars is fine.
Yeah. I wonder if I can do a quick query to see how many cars the top people have. Give me a sec. Let me let the dog out. It's a bit annoying little bitch.
Okay.
Oh, fucking what you want? Alright, 1 sec.
Did you know when you were looking up how many people we had play recently? Did you ever get an accurate number on that? Because no, last time it was crazy.
No, because when I tried
Okay.
to run that query, it bricked itself, and I don't know if
Okay.
it rechecked when it finished running.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, let's see. There could be like a fee on public garages, a limit on public garages. There could be a limit on house garages. It could be based on the house tier as well.
so
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Z-Unit.
the person with the most cars in the server has 258 cars.
Is that Mark Madrazo?
Uh,
What's the ID? Is it 2673?
yes.
Yeah, that's Mark Madrazo.
Okay, well, the person in second has 230, so he's not far behind him.
Oh, okay.
And then it's 171, 142, 136, 133. There's a lot in the hundreds.
For
So
sure.
there's a lot of people with a lot of cars. But to be honest, the majority of people.
I wonder how many out of those vehicles. I wonder how many are stolen.
Most people have 10 or less.
Okay.
By a big majority. So, that's interesting. That's not a lot. So I guess it's just the mega wealthy that have like a boatload of cars.
People who like to do a lot of wheat growing need lots of storage space for all the water and fertilizer and bud and shit.
Yeah. Let's have a look. I can. 1 sec. So the person. So the person in second place has 210 cars. I guess that means he has 20 stolen cars. Because he was 230, right?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Down to one. Where's the first one? So the person with the most stolen cars has 73 stolen cars. That's a fucking shit ton. That's a lot of VIN scratched. And then the next one's 70, 67. So there's people with fucking boatloads of VIN scratches, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably will be speeders and shit, yeah. Absolutely. That's interesting.
Shop is pending a overhaul. Once Happy is feeling better and the stars align and he gets the thoughts required to tackle it. Not every day is a fix the chop shop day, you know? It requires the right sunlight and moon position, you know, you gotta be feeling it. You really gotta be feeling it. But it's coming, for real. And I'm not a hater. I'm an appreciator. Chop shop and the garage or the garbage solo missions at least. What was the other one? Go Postal, Taxi. They're all due for a little bit of a fixer upper, little under the hood operation, and
There's definitely,
and some fresh
yeah,
paint too, probably.
there's definitely quite a few things we want to overhaul. It just, yeah, requires the correct sunlight, and people like working on things that are fun. And if like you don't find garbage job fun, it's hard to convince someone to work on it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm part of the crew of make tow trucking great again.
Yeah.
I want to see
I had a
busy
look at
bees keeping my streets clean, so I don't have to do it myself.
did you have a look at that recent release of is it London Studios or something? They released a tow truck with a crane on it, and it has like this big arm, and you can move it around and grab the car and pick it up and put it on the
No, I
back.
haven't seen that. It sounds crazy.
It looks pretty fucking sick. But I am worried about what kind of impact that might
Yeah.
have, and also what people might do with it.
We just gotta, I don't know, some kind of reward system for it that doesn't require. It's just so tough. It's like either we have the script tell you who you can impound for money, which is very unreliable and only works sometimes, or have players assign them to be impounded, but that isn't the greatest either because you gotta hope they do that. But then you just let tow truckers steal cars and put them in the impound for money. I don't know.
Any new skills coming? We don't have any planned.
No. There's some skill adjusting that's being discussed regarding some jobs, like transportation related jobs, but nothing's been finalized though. I'm not too sure what other skills we could add right now.
New heists. Oh, actually, I don't think we've talked to you about this, Kevin, but Morgan and I were talking about, the aircraft carrier.
Sure, yeah.
We were talking about
I don't
making
think
it
it's even
like,
enabled on our city.
no, it's an IPL and we can load it on demand. And basically, what we're talking about is making it so that it could be sort of like a high tier bartering mission. And we could instance it and load it in for you, and you'd have to go over there. So long as
Sold.
NPCs aren't shit, sold. We could make it like sort of a heist, I guess, but it's not against cops; it's against NPCs essentially, and
Yeah,
you
it's
get
like you
onto
gotta
the
go
boat and
defeat this aircraft carrier full of baddies and you get the
get
the
some
loot.
boat. Yeah, basically like Rust. The
I
boat
think
on
it sounds like a
Rust.
great idea.
Yeah, that is an idea. Yeah, so I don't know, no
Sounds
promises,
pretty
but
cool.
but but we're in the discussion. Um, as
Yeah,
Morgan.
Morgan,
Yeah,
give me that sip.
we were talking about it. I think a lot of it we absolutely can achieve a lot of that. Like we know how to do instancing, we know how to do zoning, we have bartering. If we tied it into bartering, it doesn't even need to be. We know how to spawn bad guys. Um, my main concern is the AI on the bad guys. Like if it's not a challenge to do, then it's just free money.
Right.
So that's really what it comes down to. If you can go over there and it's a challenge, awesome. If you go over there and they're just running into walls or doing nothing, then it's a waste of time. I talked to Morgan about that as well. I think I talked to Kevin as well about changing passive loss of respect into paying for items with money and respect. But the issue that I think Kevin raised was how would you display what it costs in respect? Because we don't have any dual cost items in Ox, and it doesn't support it. So how would we show that something is cost in respect and money?
We do that with casino chips, but we make casino chips a currency,
I mean,
and it's an
so
item. But bartering
right,
reputation isn't an item.
right, but it's something doesn't cost money and chips. It's chips or money.
Right. Okay.
So we could have a little icon for respect, but then the price would show for respect, and there would be no money price on it.
Yeah. Yeah. We could just maybe we need to introduce things that cost respect. Like it'd be interesting if you could buy a mission with respect. Type deal. You know, you could buy your little heist with you know with respect.
Or you could make it. I mean, you could make it so that the guns cost just respect.
Um,
You might
then
want to
we would need to
nerf some
rework
of
the
the
whole thing because
payouts.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I do missions and I get money,
yeah.
or I do missions and I get maybe profit. Profit though, you get profit, and then I also get guns, but for no cost. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, no, exactly. You might want to nerf it and then make it more about gaining respect to spend that respect.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what people think about that, but that would definitely be one option.
I was just thinking we need other ways of spending the respect. Yeah, maybe me and Morgan talked about this. The whole dual thing as well. And I tried to brainstorm. I guess it's in the back of my head a little bit. I haven't thought about it too much lately since we last talked. But when we were talking, I tried to brainstorm ideas about, you know, ways to use your respect that people would want to do and doesn't feel like it's a punishment or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think one idea was just like you can pay respect to maybe refresh your shop earlier, but that doesn't. Currently, right now, all shops are kind of on the same timer.
Mm.
That was like the best I had though at the time with like what's currently feasible. Oof.
Yeah. I don't know. Ideas.
Yeah, I mean, what if you could use like respect, like to get your car unimpounded early or something like that? You know, just like use your respect to get you like little things around city. Maybe you can use some respect in prison to like get some free porridge you can redeem once it restart or something.
It's funny you said that. Like the other day, I don't know what made me start thinking about it. I think it was I was watching Rob's stream or something, and he got sent to prison, and then he just started watching Gordon Ramsay or whatever. And I think most criminals probably do that. They go start making porridge and watch something. I was thinking, how could we make prison more interesting? Like I was thinking about a respect system. I was thinking maybe you like get respect each time you get jailed because from a criminal point of view, you like the at least from people in jail. If you've been in jail a lot of times, maybe there's some sort of like prison respect system. But I didn't really go anywhere with it. Like I wasn't sure what you do with it or anything like that.
Right.
But I definitely think jail is ripe for some updates and I mean, we have a big jail script that we bought. Um,
Ugh.
yeah. So that would add quite a lot. I don't. Yeah, maybe we just wait for that to get implemented. um, yeah. Never mind.
If we added respect as a currency, we didn't. It doesn't have to be for the guns either. It could be just Could be for all kinds of things, you know? You could
Hmm.
buy stuff with respect to the black market or, I don't know.
Yep.
Something to think about.
Two more things I was just adding to my list there that I forgot about is the repricing on NA Cruise and the resizing of NA Cruise.
Right. You
Before I forget,
honestly, I lean more toward I lean more to 10 than I do 15. We could
I
meet
think I do
halfway.
too. Yeah, I'll put I'll put down number 10 on my notes. I think 10's a good number. I don't know if there's anybody that plays NA actively in chat right now, but how big are your gangs? And would it be a massive loss if you had to cut down to 10 if you're over it? Like, if you have an active gang of 20, you're essentially splitting in two. Yeah, I mean, the issue is right now, if the pop's at 20, that is one gang. So it is. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's my thoughts on it. I feel like. Oh, sorry. That's another thing I wanted to put down. NA gang HQ price reduction. NA turf upkeep reduction. So because we'd be slashing gangs in half, I also think that the upkeep to keep a turf should be cut quite a bit so that
Mhm.
10 people aren't trying to grind twice as hard. I also think that the HQs should be cheaper because there's half as many people to make that money. And there was one other thing. Oh yeah. Huh. I was thinking about doing the thing that I wanted to do on EU and just de-whitelisting all of the NA gangs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there, I mean, it has the least effect there. There's like what, two whitelisted gangs, one whitelisted gang, and then everybody's on the same footing. Because the only difference between whitelist and non-whitelist right now is the amount of turfs you can cap, and that's it, right? So why not? Especially when nobody can cap all the turfs anyway.
In the clothes they have, but I guess as long as their name doesn't change.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna remove any currently whitelisted clubs. I wouldn't do that on and dog tags. I wouldn't be. I'm not trying to get rid of any current. The only thing I'd be doing is changing that 1 to 0. I'm not going to remove any of your icons or clothes or anything like that. I think in the future we need to figure out how we can offer those to crews. But yeah, I'm not gonna remove any of that. Crews can technically have those things. We just don't do it because it's a lot of effort. So I don't know how we'd offer that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to brainstorm ways of helping revitalize NA, and those were like my top thoughts, I guess. But I don't play NA anymore, so I don't know if people who do play NA more regularly have strong opinions on any of that. I feel like those things should all be good changes, though.
Hopefully, I mean, only concern is that DY listing would discourage the group and make them feel like they've been punished or something. But other than that, though, I think the
On,
other changes are good, though.
honestly, would they even know?
Would they even know? Don't think so.
I'm gonna open up the NA API map. 1, 2, 3.
Do we
So
display how many neighborhoods they can contest?
no, I'm just checking if anybody's at 12. I don't think they are. Families might be at 9, so they might drop 2, but that looks like the only gang with anywhere near. So nobody's at 12. If they had to drop 2, I think that would literally be the only effect. Other than that, I don't think anyone would even know if I de-whitelisted them. The max. Oh, yeah, that's so. The max for trues starts at 2, and then it increases by 1 for every 20 levels. But I'm open to changing that, especially if I got rid of the whitelisting. I don't know. I think doing this on NA would be a good test run and see what the issues are and iron them out.
But if there's no difference between a whitelist and a crew at this point, then there's no point in. I mean, we can keep it for EU for now, but for
Yeah,
NA, it's just kind of just making it official, so it's not an issue, I guess.
yeah. Well, exactly. Like when there's a low pop, it has very little impact, and then people won't complain when I think about doing it in the future. If I do it to EU, there's a lot of people that are going to cry. So it seems like a prime time, whilst I'm also changing a bunch of other stuff. Like if the upkeep is reduced, the HQs reduced, the crew size reduced. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a good shake up. So the way it works right now, Razor, is you keep them, but if you lose control over them, you can't recap them. So you'd have to keep them above whatever that percentage is. It's like what 78%. That's how it works right now, and that's how it's always worked. So you wouldn't instantly lose them. You just have to maintain them, and if somebody knocks you out of control, you can't regain control. So for as long as you can control them, you can keep them, but once you do lose control, that's it. It's gone. That's how all of our limits have worked in the past. It's the same for gang numbers. When we change gang numbers, we don't just kick. I don't think we've ever had to force. Gangs usually are pretty good about scaling down on their own because we lock out controls. You can't promote people and things like that until you are back under the limit. So those are all tools and things that are already in place, and I guess it happen on NA when we do that too. So if we reduce the max cap in a gang to 10, technically you'd still have 20 people in your crew, and we'd allow you time to make those changes. But if you're taking the piss and rolling around with your 20-man gang, crushing people and refusing to kick them, then we'll just kick the bottom 10 members of your gang and take that decision out of your hands. But generally, people fall into line pretty quickly and figure out how they're going to handle those changes.
Sometimes you just got sometimes you just gotta make changes. It's not an insult to the people, but the server has a very small amount of whitelisted groups, so it kind of makes this change a lot easier.
Yeah. Increase the NA, but I mean, the NA pop. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you're talking about the max pop, which I think is 120 right now, doesn't matter if we increase it or not right now because we don't get anywhere near it. So that answer is no. If you're talking about getting people over there, that's what we're talking about. We're And that's the point in the server transfers. We're trying to get more people to be active there. Yes, 100%.
Maybe we should change our server cap because maybe it's a placebo that it's some kind of server that is crap with only 120 slots.
Are you saying we should increase it or decrease it?
Yeah, I'm saying maybe should we increase it so people don't think it's some shitty
Right.
128 server.
Maybe, I don't know. Like in the past I've always thought like if a server has like 1,000, like if I'd come into 5M today and I had no idea about servers and I looked at the top servers and I see us with like what we're on right now, 550 out of 600, or CMG who's like what 600 out of 1,000, I think. That server's closer to their cap, thus they must be more in demand. And even though that doesn't make a lot of sense, I feel like that's a thing that people do. Like people want a server that
Is full and
is
busy for
full.
sure.
Yeah.
But also when
And
you say you're like, oh, this server's got 300 out of 300, but this one's 500 out of 1,000. It's like, yeah, it's not full, but it's got more players in it.
yeah, no, it's kind of illogical. I don't know why, but I'd still think I'd want to be in the 300 out of 300
Yeah,
because
maybe.
I'm like, why is there 500 empty slots? Even though it makes no difference whatsoever. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody else thinks like that, but I guess my brain kind of thinks that. Why is there that many empty slots?
Yeah, we know NA is definitely lacking police and staff.
Yeah,
These are just different things to work on as well.
yeah, we've tried a lot of things. These are the latest round of things. So we've got a bunch of gang changes there, and server transfers. I hope server transfers help push some people across. I don't know if it will, but we're just trying to remove any blockers from people that want to try, and their excuse is I don't want to lose my skills.
Change NA to STRP Albania. Yeah, honestly, bro, I mean, it's not as bad as challenges to have different country versions, but at the same time, like we couldn't manage them. It would have to be the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the past, haven't we? Like if we ever, because it'd be very easy for us to spool up a server for France, for example, and just be like, there'd need to be a French team essentially to run it. We'd essentially let somebody else rent out our system. I don't know. There'd have to be some sort of essentially a business deal there, where we maintain control, but moderation wise, they do everything because how the fuck are we gonna know? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, we would maintain like the DEDI, the API, keeping it up to
Yeah,
date. It would get
yeah,
our updates, but when it came to like player support, managing players, yeah, it couldn't be us.
yeah. So yeah, yeah. It's absolutely something we'd be open to, but I have no idea how we actually go down that road and trust someone to represent our brand for us because that's what it is really. I don't know.
It'd be cool. I'd be up for it.
Yeah, I think for sure, but I don't know how we'd do it. I don't know. I 100% agree that NA, we really struggle to get actual American players over there, and the things we're doing, like transfers, is just getting more EU players on it. I guess our hope has always been that if we get enough EU players on it, then during an NA time zone there will be players on it, and then NA players might join it and start to actually expand the NA base. But
Yeah.
it's just not been happening. And I don't know if like renaming it to EU2 and just saying fuck it
EU2 with the
we
pink
can't.
course.
Well, no, I'd say we'd move it to EU as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about just like writing
Completely
off
different
America and
world.
saying, right, we're for some reason Americans are allergic to us. Fuck it, let's double down on EU. Let's have EU2, or just give it a new name or whatever, and bring the server into the same deadly where our current one is, because it's reliable and it's doing well for us. So
Maybe.
fuck it.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be the same country. We could put it somewhere else if we wanted to. I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't know if that actually do anything.
I just think the one what's the actual benefits of you keeping the NA going? It's always been me. I think more so pushing forward because I think it's a opportunity that we're always leaving ourselves open to increase our NA population, and because if it does take off, then that's the benefit.
Yeah.
It's not we're not dying maintaining this server. It's not
No,
hurting
no,
us
of
too
course.
bad. Um, I think we're being smart by leaving the opportunity open. It's just unfortunate. We're not doing the best possible, obviously. It's just because we're very busy with our primary project, but I think it's beneficial, and that's been my argument. It's beneficial to keep it open for the opportunity.
Yeah. I think like what you guys are talking about now in chat, like, I don't think NA is the whitelist server. I don't think NA will ever be the whitelist server. I don't mind it being like EU2 or staying as NA or whatever that, but as far as whitelist goes, it would be a new server. It would not be the EU one. Um, I don't know. I don't know when we finally bite that bullet. There's just so much to think about when it comes to a whitelist server. Like, how do we manage the applications? Because it would have to be an application system, right? We can't just be like, yeah, you guys are in. You know what I mean? Like,
We need to get to the point where we have so much staff that we can even consider. We're like we have too
exactly.
much staff, not enough work for them. We can now put them on these responsibilities of managing applications and enforcing serious role play. It's just we've never been there, especially when
Yeah,
we grow rapidly like this. It's makes it even harder to get to that point of having more than enough.
yeah.
No, we definitely would pre-roll applications before it was released, but even then, still
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure.
and and does everyone think that they would just get in the whitelisted server? Like, where are we gonna
I
draw
mean,
the
I mean,
line?
I think a lot of people think they would, but honestly, I don't know how many people would.
Right.
Like, if we're talking about actual serious roleplay whitelisted, most of you can forget about it. At least from what I've seen, and I guess circumstances are, when you're in EU, why would you put in that extra effort? Maybe you are capable of it, and your application would have to prove that. But from the day to day on EU, I don't. I off the top of my head, I can't think of. I don't know who would be an automatic yes, and I think it would be 18 plus or fuck 16 plus
Yeah.
to whitelist.
Make the whitelist kid friendly. What?
That's not happening.
We'll see where it goes. I still have faith. I haven't given up, and well, hopefully we can get to the place that we want to be.
Yeah, my like I said in the past that I would like NA to be successful before we think about whitelist, but and unfortunately I thought NA would be popping by now. um,
Yeah, same.
I mean it's been open for a long time now. It's over a year, and it's had highs, but it just doesn't maintain them. Like, and I know that like those highs were when we had the whole stream team basically on there. But it's hard to maintain. It honestly is like I hate that for it to be successful, I need to be streaming there. I don't want to do that. Like I barely basically my streams are these management streams now. Like, I
Yeah.
don't have time or the desire to stream full time. And we do have NA streamers. It's just we're not getting enough pull. And we've tried things like we did partner stuff for promotion, like through our Tebex. So our NA streamers were getting a cut of Tebex sales there. We've done stuff like that. We have tried a lot of different things to push it. And it's difficult. It's slow, and like all of our growth on EU has been what's the word? It's organic. We haven't done any advertising for EU at all. It just grows. Like we don't, which I guess makes it like it's like why is NA not getting that same success? I guess. What it is, what it is. Best to take NA out of the title for a week and keep an eye on it.
Okay. I mean, changing title doesn't hurt. Back in the day, I used to change the title of the EU server to check out our NA server.
The only problem with removing NA from the title is it's going to confuse people who are trying to server hop with the transfer. It needs to have a unique name for that reason.
Does the server name actually affect the item?
No, it's just that when you're using it, you might not know what it is.
Okay.
I mean, if everybody at the moment will. I'm just thinking in the future. I don't know.
Let's see.
But what we're saying, just remove NA and leave it as
Oh,
STRP.
it says STRP America. It doesn't even say. It doesn't even.
Oh yeah, they're called STRP Europe and SAP America, aren't they?
Yeah. Let me check because there's a lot of things here that controls the name. We can change it live, so it's not like it's a scary thing. Yeah, right now it's STRP America. I mean, so I guess possibly it could be STR or maybe just change it to Space Turtles Roleplay.
If you do that, will it still come up when you search STRP though?
Oh, true. Does it have the tag STRP somewhere? Yeah, it has the tag STRP, so I would think so. So a bunch of other servers show up with it.
Have you just done it?
No, I have not. I'll do it in just a second here.
I don't know. It's something we can test offline now. It's fine. Yeah. Once turf wipe on EU, we don't really commonly wipe turfs. It only happens usually when we make turf changes, like the turf cap. I have been thinking back and forth that I'd like to reintroduce the fact that you have to have turfs adjoined, but I don't think it's a very popular idea. I just like the idea of it. I like in my head that you have an area and it can be as big as small as whatever, but having just the most valuable turfs scattered all over feels weird. But like I said, probably not a very popular idea. Should we wrap up there?
Sure. I was thinking about Could I change the description as well to go along with it to help? Oh, the server just restarted as well. That's a unfortunate time to test out the new title. But yeah, I think with what anything.
The new Overwatch season just dropped an hour ago. It's like, it's time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was good.
Yeah. We've definitely got some things to try for NA over the next week for sure. And then we can monitor progress. Yeah. See how it goes, I guess.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for chatting and hanging out and asking questions.
Cool. Yep. Thanks for stopping by, guys. It's been a good one.
See you next time.
We got quite a lot this week, didn't we? Thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you guys next time. Let's get some rage. Bye bye.